Okay, so we are going to sort of try out some things. This is if you want to understand the concept. Okay, the first question we are supposed to sort of understand this. We are supposed to write a particular solution which will help us interchange the values of two variables. I've already said if you've watched the previous videos that a variable is just a container in memory. And so what we are going to do in this very case is we're going to swap the items in a container. Okay, so if one container contained the number 10, the other contained the number 20, at the end of our solution, we are supposed to have been able to swap their contents. How do we do that? All right, let's take a look. So think of memory like a room, and then we have two buckets in there. And the first bucket has the value 10 inside it. The next bucket has the value 20. This is what happens in computer memory. These are two variables. Follow the mouse pointer if you want to get me. And make sure that for you to be able to identify whichever bucket I'm dealing with, I've written the name under it. So you follow along. In this case, we have 10 in a box called X and then 20 in a box called Y. So to swap their content, I need to introduce another box. So that box is supposed to receive the content of 1. The moment it receives the content of 1, the value inside that particular item has not changed. So if I give the value of X to Z, X and Z will all be having the same thing. That's what we term as assignment. So when I say Z is equal to X, the only thing that I'm doing is I am just saying give a copy of whatever is in X to the variable Z. And on the second slide, you see basically that's what happens. So the container Z is here, and then I'm just saying give a copy of 10, whatever is in the X inside the Z. So that's basically what happens. So they all end up having the same item. All right. Now I should have written Z is getting assigned the value of X over here. But anyways, I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say. So this is what we write: the Z is equal to X. That's good. And then when we are done, and then Z now has the value 10. What we do next is, because Z has the first value of X, we can assign X a new value, which is the value of Y. So in this case, I am saying that the value of Y should go into X. That's how come X also has 20 right now. Now, the Z contains the previous value of X. So in this case, X has been able to get the value of Y, or the value that Y started with. The next slide shows us trying to assign the first value of X, which was the 10, inside this temporal variable. So the Z is a temporal variable, the new variable we created. And in programming, we don't buy variables, so you can use any variable you want. So in this case, the 10, which was stored inside the Z, can now go into the Y by using this procedure. We say Y is equal to Z. In that case, we are saying assign the value of Z, get that value into Y. So the 10 will now try going into the Y. And this particular place will not be 20 anymore. It will be, hold on, let me change this. This is supposed to be 10 in the long run. Okay. So basically, after the assignment, that's what happened. The 20 inside the Y goes away. After everything, we have been able to swap the items of X and then the Y. X started with 10 and now it's having 20. Y started with 20, now it's having 10. In the long run, although this was brought in to help with the swapping, it still finishes having a value 10, but our concentration is on these ones. So basically, that's the swapping. The code for this whole stuff is we have X being equal to 10, and then we have Y being equal to 20. To be able to swap them, we need to introduce a new variable. And that new variable is supposed to take the value of one of the items. So let me give the value of X to Z first. That's what we did. And then when I'm done, I now say X is supposed to have the value of Y. And Y will now have the value of Z. Basically, that's what we did in the audio. So it's done. Thank you.